as on some level, we have to be expecting something, right? So if we're working at a certain way and our expectation subconsciously, just based on who we believe we are, is not in alignment with what we're working for, what's the probability that we're going to see that come to fruition? Yes. So what are we expecting to walk away from this event today? With what? Y'all know thinking is being, so I'm asking you to think for a minute. What do you think you want to walk away from this event today? What do you think you want to walk away with?
Just a new path to make what I want to do in the future happen.
A new path to make what you want to happen in the future. And so how do you suppose we do that?
I don't know. Lately, I've been just sitting here spinning. I don't know what to do.
Interesting. Spinning. So when we're spinning, only thing that we can see is more spinning. Yeah. So oftentimes what we tend to do when we are working, right? And then we are expecting, as on some level, we have to be expecting something. If we're working at a certain way and our expectation subconsciously, just based on who we believe we are, is not in alignment with what we're working for, what's the probability that we're going to see that come to fruition?
Probably not very good if we're not working on it. We're just sitting here spinning.
Okay, so let me ask you this question then. If probably not, so what do you think that we will have to do in order to get us closer to what it is that we're working for? Because what I know for sure, all of us have certain desires, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And what are some desires that we have in the room?
To live a peaceful life, a life full of peace.
A life full of peace. Okay, what else?
Fellowship, relationships.
Fellowship, relationship. Yes, what else?
To be a blessing to others, to be productive.
To be
a blessing, to basically walk in our gift, right? Basically.
To walk in our gift. And I'm so glad you brought up gift. So when we talk about gift, what kind of things come to mind for you? What is your zone of creativity that you know for sure you have this maximum ability of potential for? What does your creative zone look like? Shelly, what does your creative zone look like?
I'm not sure if this is, the kind of answer you're looking for, but for me,
before you move forward, it's not the answer that I'm looking for, because it's not for me.
Right.
But it's more of, when I ask you what is your creative zone, it's like, what is it that you really enjoy doing and that you're good at?
I really enjoy sharing information with people, and I am good at it.
Ooh, and what kind of information that you really, really just get so excited to share with people?
I would say it falls into two categories. One being all things financial, not all things, but financial as in how to make the most of your money or how to save money. That's really what I focused on, which my mindset's a little bit different on that now, but how to save money, how to make the most of what you do have. And then the second would be on mindset, right?
Okay.
That's the thing. So that's the new one, right? That I'm getting better and better at. But I love to share it as I go along, right? Mindset, how to create the are we living the life that we desire to live? Right.
Okay. So
Um,
if
mhm.
if that is like what it is, like that's your creative space, and you have like this propensity for doing that well, and you know that you can help other people do that, how can you begin to formulate that in such a way that you can package that and provide impact and influence and create some financial income for yourself?
That's what I don't know. I will, and I haven't really sat down to really figure that out, because I have people who tell me all the time that I should, that I should charge, right? For my knowledge. I have people, when I share my knowledge, I have people all the time tell me I should be charging for my knowledge. Mhm.
Okay, so let me ask you this question. If we were having this conversation 3 years from today,
Mhm.
and you look back over those 3 years, based on this like slice of conversation right here, what has have to have happened for you both personally and professionally in order for you to feel happy with your progress?
I have to
What has had to have happened?
happen. I
Yeah,
would have
so
had
we're having this
to,
conversation, like
right.
actually this conversation right now is
Mhm.
3 years later.
For me to be happy, right? When I look back on this conversation, I would have decided what is the avenue, what's the path that makes sense for me
Are
to
you
get
writing
the.
it down? Are you writing this down?
I'm not writing
Write it
this
down, girl.
down,
What is the
but
avenue? What is the path?
right. And um, what's the avenue that makes sense for me and that is useful for others, yet still I feel like a blessing to others, right? Like one of my biggest issues, I've talked about this in the past, is I feel the need to give everything away. And
Mhm.
that is a big hurdle for me. And so what would have had to have happened is I would have gotten over that hurdle,
Okay.
and I would have generated something by way that would, be a blessing to others, that would help them. You
Okay.
said people are waiting for us. You said this in some of your recent, talks and videos. You said people are waiting for what we have. I believe that. I've always believed that. People are waiting for what's in us, to help them. And some of us are taking, you said, way too long. And that hit me very hard. And I agree.
So if you have identified, you've already identified what has had to happen, you have what you just did, whether you realized it or not, is you have begun to plot a strategy for you to begin to create things within this framework of how
Right.
you can begin to deploy this knowledge, education, and expertise that you have and package it up in such a way so you can sell. So if you go back through that, and that's why I asked you to like just put yourself 3 years ahead and have this mental imagery of what that looks like, because everything starts in the mind first.
Right.
Your mental attitude about everything is
Mhm.
controlling what you see.
Absolutely.
So if you can tell yourself, and it's all about training yourself with discipline, right? If you like, look, this is what has had this is what has to have happened over the past 3 years for me to be here today. Oh, that was good. This is what
Oh.
has to have happened in order for me to be here talking to you about why I am happy with the progress that I've made. This is what happened. And then reverse engineer it, because the mentality of what that looks like is going to create a certain level of belief for you. Hello, I am Dr. Marnita on fire from P3 Purposepreneur TV. Thank you for stopping by our channel today, and I hope you enjoyed this conversation. If so, like, subscribe, share, and leave a purposeful comment. Again, from P3 Purposepreneur TV, where purposepreneurs are pattern makers and pattern makers are move makers. Goodbye.